My main research interest is consciousness. How and why the biological activity of the brain produces conscious experience. Now, consciousness has been described as one of the most significant problems of the 21st century, on a par with the origins of the universe and the origins of life and these super big questions. It really remains a sort of mystery to figure out how the biological activity of the brain produces mind, basically mental states. One of the difficulties with studying consciousness is that it is a private phenomenon. I know I'm conscious. I think you are conscious because you behave in ways that I expect to be associated with consciousness, even though I cannot really define it. But the point is, I do not have access to your own mental states, right?
Je travaille sur la conscience. On a longtemps confondu un petit peu conscience et intelligence. Quand on parle de conscience, c'est vraiment cette capacité à ressentir. L'hypothèse que l'on fait, c'est qu'on a besoin à la fois de définir d'un point de vue biologique la personne qui ressent, en lien avec ce que les philosophes appellent le soi minimal, et puis le traitement de l'information externe, par exemple le gris du canapé, et de comprendre comment les deux peuvent se rejoindre.
Dear human being, have you ever asked yourself why you are a conscious being? Why you are right now aware of yourself and of the environment captured by your senses? This video is about an article titled Phenomenal Experience Has a Functional Value, where neuroscientists Axel Cleermans and Tallon Baudry are proposing an answer to the question, does our consciousness have a function, or what our consciousness is good for? Many scientists claim that our subjective experience is not more than an epiphenomenon affording no functional advantage. But Cleermans and Tallon Baudry think that there is an intrinsic value behind our subject-level experience, a value behind what it feels like doing or feeling something, a value explaining why we do certain things and avoid others. It seems that this value is guiding our behavior, and this means our consciousness has a function. In fact, we feel our consciousness is unified because our phenomenal experience allows conscious agents to compare vastly different experiences in a common subject-centered space. In 1995, the Australian philosopher David Chalmers described consciousness as the hard problem versus easy problems such as our cognitive processes, which have been widely explored and well understood so far. Nevertheless, in the light of the phenomenal worthiness hypothesis proposed by Cleermans and Tallon Baudry, Chalmers' hard problem seems more tractable and might be reduced to a function problem. Some scientists think our consciousness might simply has no function at all, and it is logically possible. But then, why is it there at all? And supposing it has a function, then what is this function? Is it worth living or doing anything at all if we were not experiencing the least effects of our actions on us? In this perspective, Cleermans and Tallon Baudry remind about the stark argument presented by Charles Seward in 1998 that most likely we would not accept to be zombified and get a big enough reward in exchange. Imagine I give you as much money as you like, but bear in mind that you will turn to a mere functional zombie. You will lose feeling the experience of what it feels like doing anything. Let's suppose you are reckless enough to accept such hazardous offer. Then, what is the point if you would never experience the value of being able to buy whatever you like? It is obvious that the billions you will get are just valueless. Being a zombie, you will lose experiencing or feeling anything including your own existence. Still, you will theoretically keep the ability to perform well like humans. You can speak, calculate, go shopping. You can even reason logically. This is what Bloch advocated in 1995, distinguishing between what he called excess consciousness and phenomenal consciousness. Access consciousness refers to our cognitive functions like processing information or verbal report, while phenomenal consciousness refers to the conscious mental states that make us experience doing and feeling things. Chalmers, by the way, thinks the same. It means there is something special for us to appreciate the distinctive character of a monochromatic painting or the sweetness of a fruit. Even for a bat, there is something it is like to be chasing insects at dusk, while for a robot, there is nothing it is like to defeat the player number 1 of chess. Although this conceptual distinction helped scientists to shape the research in the domain of consciousness, Cleermans and Tallon Baudry think this distinction is misleading and doesn't help understand the human consciousness. Instead, they claim that our cognitive machine and phenomenal experience are not dissociated, and that the latter has a function based on an intrinsic value which guides our behavior. So our cognitive machine is under a certain control of this intrinsic value sensor. The notion of intrinsic value is not that complicated. Bert Hood gives a good example to understand. He says that eating a meal or being fed up via perfusion both have the same nutritive function. Yes, and but what? But nobody can deny that smelling and tasting the food has a distinctive value.